play drums.
Max, I do vocals.
I'm Corey, I do vocals also.
I'm Kevin, I play guitar.
I'm Michael, I play guitar too.
We are Goliath.
All right, what's up, everybody? Marcus here, chilling from www.thecirclepit.com. As you heard, I'm chilling here with Goliath. Guys, I have to know, the first thing I was confused about when I thought of you guys is why did you guys come up with the name Goliath to define your band? Usually when someone thinks of Goliath, you know, they think of, you know, a lot of people draw back to the biblical story, and Goliath was the guy that lost. So how come Goliath? Explain it.
I think the simplest way to put it was Goliath was almost the closest thing to Behemoth without saying Behemoth, and that band's like one of our major influences, so that was kind of what we were going for with that. And yeah,
Right on. It's based off the fucking ride.
Yeah. There's a ride at Six Flags called Goliath.
Going off that, okay, right on.
We're big fans.
Massive ride.
Also,
I remember when
Goliath is God's second worst enemy, next to Lucifer in the Bible, so that's another pretty cool little thing about it.
Right on,
I mean,
yeah.
it could be anything, honestly. It's just a fucking cool name, to be honest with you. At the end of the day, it sounds fucking awesome.
Yeah, not knocking the name at all. I was just curious about it.
No, it's definitely, we noticed it's one of those things where people may not have necessarily heard the band, but just the word Goliath is pretty attainable in people's minds. So it comes up a lot where people just seem to know the band based on the name, and then they go listen to it. Like it actually works out really well to have a name that's that important in the Bible.
Perfect. Let's see. How long have you guys been together?
3 years? About
Too long?
3 years. These guys right here, or is this?
Well, we started the band. Me, Kevin, and our bass player Brandon. We started the band from another band that we were in before. Michael joined shortly after, and then we kind of slowly have gained everybody else. Max just recently joined the band. Before that was Kevin and or Kevlar, and so yeah, I mean we kind of been gathering people throughout the years, but really like 4 of us are original members.
Yeah, Brandon's not here.
Thanks for pointing that out.
He's on his way.
Let's see. You guys are halfway. You guys are at the halfway point of the Too Heavy for You tour. What are your feelings about the tour this far?
It's been awesome.
It's been tight. Yeah, it's really cool. It's always nice to play new areas, play places we've never been before, hang out with kids that we've never met, which is always cool. Yeah, you know, it's crazy. You know, we live in an age where the internet is where everybody gets their music, and you don't realize that until you go to these new places and there's kids that are saying, "Oh, hey, like I like your band. I've heard of you guys before," and it's like, "Oh, that's cool. Like you found us on Facebook." Like that's still kind of weird to us, and I think it's pretty cool. And I think that's pretty much what we're trying to go for on this. You know, is just to kind of get our name a little further than California.
It's been pretty rewarding too, because some of the venues on this tour we have played before on previous tours, and it's refreshing to go back and have even more kids than were at that show that are interested in seeing our band based off word of mouth. And we've noticed that at a couple venues that our numbers are increasing slowly, and kids are just digging in, asking about new music and wanting to buy merch, and to see that progression just slightly increase with every show is very rewarding. So we're really stoked about this tour so far.
Yeah, it makes you feel that there is light at the end of the tunnel. It's got to be a pretty cool.
No, there
feeling.
is no light at the end of the tunnel.
Let's see. You guys might answer this collectively. You might want to answer this individually. But who are some of your musical influences?
A lot of Behemoth.
As a collective, like, it kind of goes to a lot of different things, like as of what Goliath sounds like. I think one of the reasons we've been able to have a more original sound than a lot of bands in our like kind of niche is because we take from so many different things.
Yeah.
Like our songs may be like crossover, like heavy metal, hardcore songs, but like we have like elements of like, I like this hip hop structure, so I'm gonna introduce this hip hop structure, but have it be a metal song. And like we just like pretty much the whole goal of the band is just to be a really good crossover between the two worlds, because we think all the best bands in this world have been the crossover between hardcore and metal.
And I think like what also like really works with all of us is we have really different tastes in music, and when it comes down to writing, we all bring something new to the table, bring something different. Like, I mean, I listen to a lot of pop punk, and Michael listens to a lot of hip hop, and Max listens like strictly like hardcore, like just straight like punk hardcore and stuff, and Kevin listens to a lot of metalcore, and Kevlar listens to a lot of indie, and like we all bring it. Postal Service on long drives is all Kevlar plays. But yeah, so I think that when we bring it all together, and we try to bring all these ideas to the table, it makes for really unique sound, like unique sounding music, and I think that's what helps us out a lot.
Yeah, especially with our newer music, we're pulling influences. We're trying to be a little more creative and almost a little bit braver, not try to get stuck into this like center of like what a lot of bands are doing. We pull out of genres that are kind of unusual for metal bands to pull out of, and try to use that to build the solid music foundation that we have.
Braver.
Straight up.
Right on. What does 2014 have in store for Goliath?
A lot of touring and a lot of writing. We're on this tour right now. We're about to start the second half next couple days, and after that we're home for 10 days, something like that, maybe a week, and then we leave immediately again for the DIY or Die tour with So This Is Suffering, and we're gone for about a month on that, and I mean, we're just trying to stay busy. You know, once we get home from that, we're gonna finish writing a new album, and hopefully get really deep into recording that and have that out by the end of the year, and then there's a couple more tours that we got in the works, you know, before the end of the year too.
Kevin's going for a record for World's Longest Beard. We're really pulling through for him.
Working on that.
He's gonna make that.
Almost there.
That's about it.
Right on. Let's see. You guys put out an EP back in 2012 called Vendetta with the World, and in 2013 you guys put out a cover EP titled Modern Idols, where you covered well-known artists such as Korn and Hatebreed. What made you guys decide to follow up your debut with a cover EP?
It's just something that like is really fun to do, and we just wanted to do something that was fun, and covering bands that got us into this type of music. That's essentially what the idea of the cover EP was. Like Slipknot and like Korn and like Hatebreed and the Misfits are like bands you like when you're a little kid. So when you become old enough to be an actual musician and be in a band and stuff, you want to draw back from influences that got you into this. So we thought might as well try and give our modern spin on this type of music that we were into growing up and have just stayed with us throughout our basically just our entire lives so far. That's pretty much the idea behind it.
Right on. Let's talk about the writing process. What does the writing process look like for Goliath when it comes to creating new music?
Difficult.
It's a lot of coffee.
It's a lot of coffee. It's
a lot of drugs.
A lot of locking
chain
ourselves
smoking.
in
Small
studios,
rooms.
really
Yeah.
small studios and vocal booths, and yelling at each other for hours on end.
I work at some recording studio. I work at Sound Temple Studios in Rancho, and a lot of what it starts with is like I'll structure out a song, pretty much like write riffs to it, and then I'll have like a skeleton outline. I'm like, okay, cool. Like I think this is a good skeleton, and then Kevlar will come in and
I'll usually come in like arrange it.
yeah, Kevlar will come in and I'll be like, this is what I was thinking on drums, and I'll like program the drums. He's like, well, I'd probably do something a little more like this if I were to play it, and then we kind of just like, I lay out a basic structure, and then Kevlar comes and does what his thing he would do on drums.
And then I come in, they email it to me, and I tell them I hate it. And then
True,
you know,
pretty much.
then we 180 it. No,
Yeah.
nothing really changes.
Then we after the instrumental's done, they come in. I have like a vocal booth set up, and like we'll just have everyone come into, and like we'll just write a song basically off it and just sit down, pre-pro the vocals out beforehand. That way we can just sit and listen to it over and over. I mean, this is essentially how we're doing our new stuff, because like we want to make sure that this is the best thing we've ever done. So we're working really hard at it.
Yeah,
So
I would say, yeah. I
the
think
extensive
our,
pre-pro is pretty much what is going on right now in this band.
I think our writing is probably like our strongest attribute in this band, because we have anywhere in the vicinity of like 20 to 25 songs ready to go, and it's just a matter of listening to them, adding lyrics and composing them, and just going through the material and seeing what we like, what we don't like, what sounds good here, what sounds good there, and just building
A cohesive project.
Yeah,
I would say,
exactly.
like a
Just making
something
it
that makes
exactly
sense.
what we want it to be. And we have great songwriters outside of the band that, you know, like kind of just check our work and put us in the right direction, help us not just find our own sound, but stay current with what's going on today, you know, and build a name for ourselves based off that. It's cool.
So far, what has been your guys' most memorable show that you performed at, and what was it about that show that was so special that made
We
you?
got to play a festival at Newfound Glory, and
That
that's
was definitely Corey's.
that was
Yeah.
the best day of my life. I don't really fanboy, and I try not to fanboy a lot. I try not to be like that weird guy that kind of is like creepy, but I got my creep on that day. I'm not gonna lie. You know, as soon as I told everybody, I was like, look, the set ends. I'm bolting over to the main stage. I'm standing there until Newfound Glory plays. Like, sorry, I'm not helping anybody load off. And like, it's one of those things like, when you have a moment like that, everybody can kind of realize it, and everybody's cool with it. So I stood outside of like New Found Glory's bus with like my original press of Sticks and Stones, like waiting for them to come out, and they all signed my record, and that was like the best day of my life right there. So that's for me. I mean, everybody else probably doesn't.
What about anybody else want to attack that one?
Man, we have a lot of really good ones. We've played with a lot of bands that we look up to, and I would say that probably getting to play with Suicide Silence so much, like in the last couple years while Mitch was alive, like all those shows now essentially, like, to me, have more meaning than anything else, because that's just something that you can never see ever again. So being a part of those shows has been a really rewarding thing if I look to the past and what we've done.
Kevin, you want to chime in on that?
I think one of my favorite shows was probably Despised Icons last tour. That was rad, really rad show.
Yeah, that was fun. It was that Chain Reaction. It was sold out, and that was insane. That cracked, man. That was a good night. And, well, another good Chain Reaction show was we played with Harm's Way and Acacia Strain.
Oh yeah, that was sick.
That was tight. That was good times. And yeah, so I mean, we played a lot of shows that, they're really memorable nights. And we've been fortunate to play with a lot of our influences and fortunate to play with a lot of really cool people. So it's tight. It's fun stuff.
We didn't play this night, but I think my favorite night with this band on tour is we crashed a Sleeping with Sirens show.
Oh, yeah.
And
That
that
was
was
tight.
that was awesome.
Yeah.
I tried to get my picture taken with Kellen, but he wanted $80, and I was like, "Well, dude, I want to."
We got some quality issues time. I was like walking out of the bus with AJ,
Yeah.
and like I had this crying girl come up to me, like bawling in tears, asking me for $50. She told
And
me
the
she
bass
needed
player arrived.
Our bass player's here.
Better late than never.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we gotta
so
squeeze in.
You can
Really
just
squeeze in.
probably-
Here, stand right here in between
Yeah.
these two, like
There you
that.
But tip, kids, show up to a show in a van and a trailer, and just
they'll
might get
let you-
past security.
They'll let you do whatever you want. I mean, we literally pulled up and they were just like, "Oh yeah, you guys can park over here behind Sleeping with Sirens 2 buses," and we're just like, "Okay, makes sense." And hey, it worked out. That was a good night. That was a lot of fun.
That was fun.
All right, well, as everyone just saw, we had a latecomer come and join us. Who just walked in?
I'm Brandon. I play bass.
And he plays bass. Good stuff. Let's see, all of you guys, this is, again, another question that might be collectively or something individually, but what is your favorite song to perform live?
Ooh, I feel like that.
We have a new song that's called Inside My Mind, and we just started playing it this year, and I love playing it just because we haven't had it like fully done yet. It's not out, you can't hear it, but like kids that like when we play that song, kids go nuts for it, and it's so cool to watch kids like lose themselves to a song that they can't access yet. And I like that song particularly because that's kind of that entire song. It's like the first song I think the entire band has kind of had some type of input on, and with the members we have now, I should say, and it's just great to watch that song go over, and it gives me a lot of confidence with the other songs that we have that I think that they're going to be just as great as that one. So yeah, that's really good.
Personally, I like Negative Mental Attitude, just because the song has a lot of energy. It's short, but it packs a punch, and that's pretty much it for that.
I prefer A Year in Dallas. It's easily one of the greatest songs ever. Yeah, it's a metal masterpiece, I'd say.
I like, I don't know, man. I liked playing 6 Feet Deep when we play that live. That's a fun song. That's another newer one. I also like The Way to Truth. It's a song off Vendetta that we play every once in a while. We've been playing it on this tour, and like, that's one of our more like death metal influenced songs, and it's really fast, and I like that one. I mean, I think that it's fun to play songs like when you see like hardcore kids like still circle pitting. I think that's pretty tight.
I still like older songs like Lost Cause or No Compromise, just because it's super heavy and the kids just beat the shit out of each other to them.
That makes Kevin smile.
It does. It's great.
I love playing our Sick cover a lot just because it's just, I mean, that's for our cover, but like original is probably Lost Cause is still my favorite, just because I feel like that's close to the best song we've written. Next, I think Inside My Mind is also amazing, but and when that comes out, I think that'll probably be on par with Lost Cause. But I think at the moment, like Lost Cause lyrics are just so real and like so close to like me and Corey like wrote mainly lyrics to that song, and it's just a really good outlet. Like playing that song every night just makes me feel good, because I feel like we're saying something. We actually have a message, and kids relate to. Everyone goes through hard times. Everyone, being a human being is just, that means you're gonna suffer, and that's pretty much what that song is about. And the fact that kids relate so much to those lyrics just translates live great. And so that's mainly why I think Lost Cause is my favorite to play, at least, is because of the lyrical content.
All right, guys, we spent some time talking, about all different kinds of things relating to your guys' music. But let's take a second to step outside the music scene. What kind of hobbies do some of you guys have that aren't music related?
Okay, I guess I'll start. So I guess outside of music, I like to take pictures, so I do a lot of photography. Making short videos is cool when my computer's not fucking up and I can actually like edit things. Skating's fun. That's drawing. Anything art related, really. That's pretty much it for that.
Sleeping a hobby? 'Cause
I'm great at that.
Yeah, Michael's
Michael's killing it on the
10 out of
sleeping
10.
game.
He'll sleep all
His
day.
sleeping game's on fucking level 100.
I skateboard. I skateboard. I mean, other than that, I think all of us just do music, really.
Yeah, I write a lot of music, and
We
I
don't
hang out
just
with
do
my
Goliath.
girlfriend.
Like,
I like beer.
For the most part, all of us
Yeah.
have something else going on musically other than Goliath.
Right on. Well, guys, on behalf of thecirclepit.com, I just want to say thank you for taking the time to talk to us. Thank you. I know you guys are busy. You got a show coming up here in just a few minutes that you got to get on stage for, and you took the time to stop and talk to me. So I appreciate that. I'm done as far as my questions. This part's on you. If you got any shout outs or anything you would like to say to your fans out there, go ahead, take this time. This one's on you.
Verified Joel Cupcake.
Verified Joel Cupcake. Shout out to Issues. Pick up that new Issues record. It's fire.
New Behemoth record.
New Behemoth record. Pick that up.
Thanks
Goliath
to-
2014.
Thanks to our fans who have come to the show so far, and for the rest of the tour, thanks for coming out. We appreciate it.
And thank you to Marcus
Yeah.
and the Circle Pit.